American is basically a disservice to all the people that live in Africa right now, who you having the descendants from. If anything, you want to call yourself West African American. If anything, come on. I'm not here. So, not, you know what I'm saying? So give it up. Give it up. You are an American. You are an American. Have pride in Africa, but be correct about it, and don't leave people out. The African diaspora who don't look like you, but been in Africa for thousands of years. You are an American. It's that simple. You have no citizenship over there. If you go over there right now, you're gonna have and try to be a citizen. You have to change. You have to become a citizen of any of those countries over there. It's that simple. And I don't want to hear this crap about, well, Europeans, they call themselves. No, they don't. They don't call themselves European American. They call themselves white American. Yeah, but you know the Irish. They celebrate their Irish roots. That's it. The English roots. That's all they do. But at the end of the day, they just white Americans. I don't know why some people try to debate me with that, because I never heard them say they're European Americans. I never heard it. Not in America. Never heard it. The only group of people that might call themselves by hyphenating is the Italians. And the only reason why, because other white people usually know they got black blood in them. And another thing is, you don't understand that you're falling right into the racist hands when you do that. That's what they want you to do. They want you to put a hyphen in front of your name, so they can distinguish each other, distinguish yourself from other group, other Americans, so they can do tactics like discrimination. You understand that? It's already crazy enough. We call ourselves Black Americans instead of calling ourselves Americans that happen to be black. Because we fall into their hands when we do that. There shouldn't be no such thing on when you go into a public place, like trying to get a public assistance or something like that for your family. You shouldn't have to check a box of what race you are, what ethnicity you are, when you're supposed to be an American citizen. But you going around calling yourself African American or Mexican American or any type of American, you falling right into the hands of the racists. You don't even realize that. You don't even realize that. You born in America, you're American. That's it. I don't want to hear about ancestors here and ancestors. I don't want to hear about that. That's your ancestors. You'll be ancestors of you. Yeah, by race, yeah, they are me by race. And the race will be Congoloid. But by geographics, I'm not my ancestors. All right? But geographics, I'm an American soil, I'm American. And if you want to be treated as an American citizen in this country, you can't go around calling yourself about hyphenate. No, you. And then you had one fool saying, "Oh, you just ashamed of being what you are." I'm ashamed of being what I am. When I call myself black all the time, I'm not ashamed of what I am. Just that's not what I am. I got European in my blood too. Does that make me European too? No, I'm not European either. Those are continents. Get your facts straight. And all of fucking Africa is not black people. It was never like that, because there was no such thing as Africa. There was no such thing as Africa. There was no such thing as the Americas. There was no such thing as Asia. Those are made up continents. Get your facts straight. In fact, all the continents was one supercontinent called Pangea. Millions of years ago, before they broke up into different continents, and what we call continents now. Those are made up scientific terms. Africa was nothing but kingdoms and tribes and dynasties. That's all it was.
And that's real. on realvisionradio.com.
Exactly. So don't try to sit back and tell me that I don't like being African. Like, you stupid? Are you stupid or what? I can never run away from my African roots. But I was born and raised in America, and I won't be considered as American. All right? Because I'm not gonna fall into the racist hands by giving them what they want. Like I said, they want you to call yourself Puerto Rican American, Latino American, whatever. Caribbean American. This is what they want you to do. They want you to put the hyphen in front of your name so they can find a way to discriminate against you. Find a way to keep us apart. This is why America is so messed up right now. Because everybody agree with this hyphen and shit. And let me tell you something about us. We wasn't calling ourselves that in the first place up until 1988. We wasn't calling us that. That's the turn that was made by Jesse Jackson. Like I said, this is crazy. One person online said, I don't understand why Americans go yourself on the hyphen of what their ancestors came from. Why they do that? And that person got mad likes. Because he's right. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing it? Why you separate yourself from other people that supposed to be American citizens like you? You know, Arab Americans, Muslim Americans, Christian Americans, all that crazy stuff, man. They gotta stop. If you want to call yourself that behind closed doors, fine. If you want to embrace your roots, your African roots, or your English roots, or whatever, if you're from Europe, that's fine. But at the end of the day, you can't fall into these racist hands by putting hyphen in front of your names. You can't do it. Because if you do that, then you can't complain later on about how you being mistreated. You can't. Because you yourself decide to separate yourself. Now, if you're a person that want to separate yourself anyway, then I'm not talking about then this message is not for you. Because I know there's some black people right now that want to separate from other people in America. This message is not for you. But the people that don't want to separate and wants to go and get along with other groups of people in this country, you can't go around calling yourself after a hyphenate, a name fast hyphenate, and then expect to get respected. And the funny thing about it, you got black people amongst each other doing that anyway, amongst each other. You got black Caribbeans who tell you straight up they're not African American, they're Caribbean American. Think about that. And their ancestors came from Africa too. But you told them that, they look at you like you're crazy. Are you stupid? Are you stupid? No. Stop the nonsense. You're not an African. You're African descent. And descent means that you descended from Africans that was your ancestors. That's it. You were born on American soil, you're American. You born in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. You know, somebody tried to debate me online like, oh, you stupid was thinking that you are where you're born at. Oh, really? I'm stupid? So let me see your birth certificate, homeboy. Let me see your birth certificate. Let me see if it say Africa on that shit. Let me see it. And like I said before, if you really, truly think you're an African because your ancestors came from Africa and you're an African, you got to celebrate all Africans who lived there for thousands of years, including the Berber people who look nothing like black people. Don't leave people out. The African diaspora, if you into that really, you're into it. You're Afrocentrist. Don't leave out the people that been in North Africa for years, like Egypt and Morocco, because I see y'all doing that. I see you do it. And then say, they wasn't really over there. No, the only ones that wasn't over there was the Europeans and the Arabs, the Asiatics. They was not over there. They invaded. But there's people that been there for 1,000 years, who were like the Berber people that didn't invade nothing. They just been there. And they don't look nothing like us. Nothing. In fact, let me break it down to you, homeboys. East Africans don't even hardly look like us. West Africans. I'm dead serious. The only thing that make us look similar is that we got that both of us, all of us got kinky hair, you know, and dark skin. But even some of those Africans over there, them blacks over there, who are part of our race, still genetically a little bit different. In East Africa. You think I'm lying? Go look at an Ethiopian. Then look at somebody from Ghana. West Africa. And see where you see if you don't see a difference. I see it. And not because they all have Arab blood in them either. Because I know the person you're gonna say, okay, they've been made by Arabs and that's why they mixed it. Yeah, we don't understand they mixed. We understand that. But not all of them is like that. And I can see a difference. Matter of fact, I can see a difference between West Africans, man. There's some tribes that's shorter than others. Are you stupid? You ever heard of the Pygmies? They short. Pygmies. You ever heard of them?
Pygmies, Mr. Brad Pygmies.
Yeah.
Yo, these dudes don't know. They don't know.
So how can you call yourself African Americans and make it seem like you all your ancestors came from the same all the Africa and came from the same all ethnic groups? If anything, you should be calling yourself Bantu Americans or something like that. Because a lot of us have had descended from the Bantu peoples in Africa. If anything. I'm dead serious. And the other ethnic groups too. You should be calling yourself under. I mean, hell, even Africans come to America don't even call themselves African American. They call themselves the Nigerian American and Ghana American, Ghanaian American. I mean, come on, man. And you born and raised in here, you call yourself, just get the fuck out of here, man. Get out of here with that crap. You're an American. Deal with it. Deal with it first. I'm not a coon. Trust me on that. I'll talk about racism all the time here. But the reason why I bring it up because we can't talk about racism and then turn around and say that we something that we're not. Just because our ancestors came from a certain place. We can't do that. You can't get mad. You say you're African American and then turn around and get mad when some racists say go back to Africa. You can't get mad. That's my point I'm trying to make. You can't have it both ways, folks. You can't. Especially when you're not even trying. Not even trying to learn African culture. A lot of people that I know who's on this African stuff don't even try to learn African culture. Don't try to learn African language. Don't try to learn African ethnic foods or nothing. They up here eating fucking food that we consider slavery food. But talking about they Africans. Get the fuck out of here. Because they are the same race, the same Congolese race as Africans in Africa. That makes no goddamn sense. Don't fool yourself, folks. Don't fool yourself. We descended from African slaves who happen to be of the Congolese race. But now we've been over in America for 500 years. In fact, we've been out here in this land for 500 years, longer than the United States itself. And there were free blacks here already from Africa that was here making a name for themselves. When we going to start celebrating that part of us? And I'm talking about the slavery part. I'm talking about the parts of what we did here. The inventions that we did, that we made. A lot of stuff that's out right now, we black Americans have made this. When we're going to start celebrating the culture that we started here? When? Because I see we don't do that. If you're going to embrace that African culture, the culture of your ancestors in Africa, you got to embrace the culture of your ancestors that was over here, brought over here, and what they did. Because we have a lot of people that did a lot of things. We won't have open heart surgery. We wouldn't have